Welcome to episode 28 of the B Movie Club. I'm your host, Kevin. This week we're going to be talking about the 1998 comedy classic, There's Something About Mary, starring Ben Stiller and Cameron Diaz. First I want to do a little housekeeping or house cleaning, either one. Basically, I've been contacted by YouTube. And what they want to do is they want to start putting ads on my videos. So it's not going to affect the content as far as I know. It'll be like a little banner across the bottom of the screen if they choose to do this. But what this means is the more views we get, the more cash I'll get, theoretically. You know, I can stop working in the coal mine, in the diamond fields, you know. So, if you're watching this for the first time, or the 10th time, please subscribe. You can go on to my page on YouTube and click the subscribe button, and you're all set. Also, what I'm going to start doing, and I did this a couple weeks ago, is I'm going to do B Movie Club flashbacks, where I'll go back and I'll repost videos from back in the day that maybe you hadn't seen. Give you a second chance at it, so look for that. I went ahead and I've changed the theme song. It used to be the theme from Shaft that started the episodes and ended the episodes. Evidently there's some copyright issues with those, as in, you know, I've been basically stealing it. I haven't contacted Isaac Hayes' estate and offered him any money or anything. But I'm trying some new things. What I'm doing is I'm starting the show with a classic, be it Mozart or Beethoven or Bach or whomever. If you like one over another, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep experimenting until I find one I like. Maybe I'll stick with this one. I don't know. We'll see. Anywho, you've got There's Something About Mary from 1998, starring Ben Stiller and Cameron Diaz. It also has Matt Dillon, Chris Elliott, several other people that you've seen a million times. Basically, the premise of the story is Ben Stiller, when he was in high school, had like this crush on Cameron Diaz, who is basically, you know, represented as being like the coolest chick in the world, essentially. Like, she's into sports, she likes to bust people's chops, she's just very, she's mellow, you know, there's no drama. She's just really, really cool, is the way they present her. So, naturally, like, every guy who meets her is, like, totally into her. So, he's into her. They're supposed to go to the prom, because she asked Ben Stiller for some crazy reason. But on the way to the prom, accidents happen. Essentially, he gets stuck in his zipper. If you've seen the scene, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He gets rushed to the hospital, and their dream date is ruined, essentially. So, years later, he's now in his 20s, theoretically. But he's still thinking about Mary, and that she was the one who got away, and blah, blah, blah. So he finally basically hires a private investigator played by Matt Dillon to go track down Mary and find out what's her status, what's the story. Matt Dillon goes down there, finds her, obviously sees that she's the coolest chick around, and he falls in love with her. So he tries to sabotage Ben Stiller by telling her horrible things. Oh yeah, you know, she's in a wheelchair, and you know, she's got 8 kids from 4 different men, and da-da-da-da. So he can go back and start trying to hook up with Cameron Diaz. So eventually Ben Stiller says, you know, I'm just going to go down there anyway. And he meets her, and what we discover is there's literally a whole cast of characters of every guy who's ever met her is also kind of a secret stalker on Cameron Diaz. And the hijinks ensue. When I saw this movie, I was in college. It came out in the summer of '98. And I thought it was so funny that I literally went and saw it like a bunch of times. I mean, it's not politically correct. It's obviously not for everybody. There's a lot of childish humor. There's some potty humor, if you will. But it is just so ridiculous that you can't help but laugh. The Farrelly brothers, who directed this, had already done Dumb and Dumber a few years prior. They'd done Kingpins, which is another one of my favorites. Later, they did Me, Myself, and Irene. It's that same kind of goofy craziness that you've seen time and time again. I went ahead and I dusted off my copy of There's Something About Mary, and I popped in and I watched the audio commentary. As the two directors are talking about this movie, literally everybody in the cast is like a buddy of theirs, a family member, somebody they grew up with, like every character. I think they made a point of saying, oh, here's this extra in the chiropractor's office. She was the only one that was actually a hired extra who they didn't know. Every other extra is, oh, that's, my wife, those are my kids, that's my dog. It was literally ridiculous. Even more so, like, the character names are the names of friends that they know. Like, Matt Dillon's character is named Pat Healy. That was the name of one of the producers in the movie. So it was just kind of funny. So it's like the main characters are always different, or usually different. But the secondary characters are like in all their movies. Originally, well, throughout the movie, it's constantly referenced Mary's boyfriend, who she recently broke up with, as Brett. And the big reveal, spoiler alert, is that it's Brett Favre, because she's a big sports fan. Originally, that part was supposed to be played by Steve Young, but because of his religious beliefs and the fact the movie's basically kind of, it's kind of inappropriate, he took a pass on it. Brett Favre, again, played that role, and he was actually married at the time, so it was just kind of a funny turn of events. If you watch the movie, there's a lot of little things that occur in the movie that are kind of foreshadowing of what happens later in the movie. Like Chris Elliott, they show him as just Ben Stiller's friend. But as the movie progresses, you begin to realize that he's not just Ben Stiller's friend. He's also, spoiler alert, Cameron Diaz's high school boyfriend that she had been seeing way back when. That was supposedly, the model and the pro athlete and all this other good stuff. The movie is hysterical. There's actually a scene where the police are arresting these people at a truck stop, at a rest stop on the highway, and they're like people running for their lives. Those were all like crew members. This is really a great movie. If you haven't seen it lately, I highly recommend rushing out and see it. There's a character named Tucker in the movie who has like leg braces, and he has like this thick English accent. And then halfway through the movie, spoiler alert, you find out he's actually just a pizza man and he's not really English. He's just kind of a goofball. But he was also another stalker of Mary. What's funny is the actor is actually an English actor. So his fake English accent was actually his real English accent. And his crazy South Florida accent was the fake one. And when they showed this to people originally, people were complaining that his English accent sounded too fake. So there you go. Like I said, this movie is very inappropriate and not politically correct at all. And it actually received a lot of complaints because it deals with, again, people in like leg braces, people who are mentally handicapped. But what you find out is basically their attitude is people are people. We're making fun of everybody. And it's not mean-spirited. It's not meant to, it's more meant to cause derision to those people around them than it is to cause, the actual characters that are suffering from these issues. Again, this movie is hilarious. It has a 83% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Somebody made the point to me, because this is the B movie club, that I'm supposed to be picking B movies, kind of low budget, kind of under the radar, and that this was actually a big financial success. This is true. Not a B movie. I don't know how often people talk about There's Something About Mary. If they're not, that they should be talking about it more often. Basically, my answer to that is I have no answer. Sometimes when I'm filming the movie or filming the B movie club, I realize I haven't decided what movie I'm doing next week. So when I get to the point where I'm supposed to discuss, well, next week we're going to do this movie, I kind of just search frantically in my brain, and I pluck the first movie that pops in. So there you have it. There's something about Mary. You can tell we're very organized, well thought out, well planned on the B Movie Club. I opened it up to the subscribers to give me their favorite scenes, favorite quotes. Tim said his favorite quote was, of course, the zipper scene. It is unbelievable, that scene. Because there's so much buildup, they're talking about it, and then there's finally the reveal unexpectedly. That's shocking. Tori said his favorite quote was the scene with the hitchhiker with Ben Stiller, where he's talking about 7-minute abs. At the time, there were workout videos called 8-minute abs. And the crazy hitchhiker was saying, like, how he would come up with 7-minute abs. And which one would you choose, the 8-minute or the 7-minute? You know, and it's guaranteed, because if you didn't like it, you'd get that. You get that extra minute. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. As you know, every week I like to end an episode with my totally out of context quote. This week it is this: "Those goofy bastards are about all I have in this crazy mixed up world." Good times. Next week, a special Thanksgiving episode. We're going to be doing the horror comedy classic Return of the Living Dead, so you have that to look forward to. We might have a special guest host. We'll see. So you have that to look forward to as well. I hope you enjoyed our episode. Thanks for stopping by, and be well.